Oh my God. Here we go. We are back. Another edition of IntroVersus Live. IntroVersus brought to you by, of course, IntroVersus Live and All Deaf Poetry. Shouts out to everybody out there surviving in this COVID America where your leader of the free world is sick as fuck. Okay, just kidding. Had to get that out. Listen, we got an amazing matchup today. Amazing matchup today. It's all West Coast bound, but I be getting the names wrong. So today they're coming from different places. So we got my man Saint all the way from Cybertron up in the building. And we got TREESJE all the way from this motherfucker, boy. I'm telling you, it's about to be a litty situation. Yes, I use the word litty as an adult. Listen, you already know how it goes down. These poets will give you 5 rounds of amazingness, and then you're going to jump in the chat. You're going to put up the fire emojis. You're going to put up the heart emojis. You're going to put up all the emojis to let them know that you love what they're doing. And of course, at the end of it all, you will vote. You will go to the polls and vote. And I think we got a new situation we're going to add in yet. I got to talk to the team. Shout out to the IntroVersus Live team. Shout out to Sean Williams. Shout out to Masterpiece, Black Chakra, and the big homie Prentice Powell. Shout out to my man behind the scenes, Kadeem, working the all deaf boards back there. We see you, brother. So we did a coin flip to see who's going to go first. Of course, you know, the rounds are a little bit different these days. We go A, B, then B, A, then back to A, B. So with the coin flip, TREESJE, she won this coin flip. So now she going to go second, which means Saint, you going first. Saint got some artwork behind him. He got his fedora on. Glasses looking right. Black women matter all the motherfucking time. So we about to get into it. Saint, brother, it's on you. Set it off. IntroVersus. Let's go.
Let's go. 10 things I regret ever taking place in my life. 1, being too afraid to kiss Rosemary Otero in junior high school. I used to think her face was carved by angels. She had a cleft in her chin. It was the first time I'd seen one in real life. She was beautiful. 2, wearing tidy whities. As a grown-up man. 3, the one time I called my sister a bitch. That word fell out of my mouth like a mistake wrapped in treason. I couldn't easily forget like the palm of my hand. 4, getting the lame limb dog tattooed on my shoulder with a miniature poodle underneath. I was completely sober. If you think that's bad, you should have heard my first choice. 5, throwing bricks on the roof of our house for entertainment. 1 slipped and crashed through the window, hitting my mother in the head. She told me she still has a scar. I have one too, only mine isn't as visible. 6, voting for George Bush. 7, not saying how much I love my grandfather at his funeral. More importantly, not saying those same things to him when he was alive. Burials should only be designed for bodies. 8, feeling boastful when I was making more money than both my parents combined. 3 years later, I was cleaning out bedpans for minimum wage. The Bible says pride comes before destruction. 9, not writing to that little girl in Guatemala while in the service after promising I would. I gave her my word. I wonder if that's why I didn't have any more left to put on paper. 10, having any regrets to begin with. See, oftentimes we feel sorry for mistakes we've made in our past, that we wish we could pay a visit to Father Time and ask him for a series of do-overs, that because life has dealt us a bad hand, we feel we have the right to point the finger. So I believe where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. We treat mirrors like gospel, not realizing they are just a reflection on the outside. The 2 things that keep us alive are tucked away in the inside of ourselves. Our mind and our heart with it, but perfectly aligned. You become unstoppable. Your words now have purpose. Your voice box becomes a DJ, spinning the greatest hits of your growth. It's all about moving forward, taking on the eyes of Harriet Tubman. So I will always have tunnel vision, reminding myself that no matter what I've gone through, I'm still here. Even though at times it may feel like I'm drowning, the air in my lungs symbolize I'm not yet underwater. So I'm gonna be like Jesus and turn this ocean into a runway. We are faced with up to 5,000 decisions a day. Instead of worrying about always making the right one, revel in the fact you have the freedom to choose in the first place. Regrets are simply reminders we are full of imperfections. Our goal is to treat them as lessons in the school we call life and take notes so we can be ready for the test when they come.
All right, Lim setting it off, setting it off. That's what I'm talking about, bringing that energy level up so we can get this thing popping. TREESJE, you heard the man. I see your artwork behind you too. Life is beautiful. Let's go. IntroVersus.
Man, I love that poem. I remember when me and Saint workshopped that when we were on Elevated Slam Team together. And that was one of my favorite pieces, and just in terms of a list poem and just my brother rocking with me. So I, inspired by that, I'm gonna share the poem that we workshopped while we were on Elevated Team in the spirit of nostalgia. This is Girl Scouts. Ever since I was little, I always wanted to be a Girl Scout. But I soon realized that those ugly brown jumpers and badges was a uniform that couldn't transform me from chunky, socially awkward bookworm to captain of the cheerleading team. So used to being a social outcast, I thought the wilderness was the best place to find myself. So I found myself making crowns of daisies at recess to get used to the idea of being somebody's queen. But eventually, my body and my petals wilted from using it irresponsibly. You see, girls like me, we sell our cookies to princes at discount prices. We earn brownie points for forgiveness by not making a scene. We learn to tell time by the stars just so that we can become a gorgeous mudslide at men's feet. But can I tell you something? My first time with a man was no campfire retreat. My initiation into womanhood was being pinned to an oak tree in 3rd grade and force-fed my first kiss. And every life lesson and heartache after this was a brightly colored tattered badge that I stitched into my skin. I earned them all, the My Best Self badge, proving flaws are just God's way of saying handle my daughter with care. The social butterfly badge, to be fly, even caterpillars have to accept that change is inevitable. The truth seeker badge, for asking my cheating boyfriend questions I already knew the answers to. The on my own badge, proving that being single meant that I didn't have to share my money or my orgasms with a man. See, I earned them all. Now I got the wife badge, the mama badge, the good credit badge, the homeowner badge, all stripes in a battle for a kingdom that no woman truly feels like she rules. I got used to the wounds, became an expert in first aid. I stitched triumph and defeat into my spine so I would never forget that even fallen soldiers still stand for something. And today I stand as a woman who did not let love do-si-do with my heart and leave me to crumble like a box of discarded Thin Mints, to let a careless man-child turn my cookies into abandoned anthills. Stories of hiked up skirts and tattered threads tell the tale of boys who climbed my mountain but weren't man enough to capture this flag. You see, I gave them all I had, and now I realize that I don't need happy homemaker qualities to run a household. I'm not a little girl trained to chase clubs in high societies. I learned that all women have a little Girl Scout in our genes. We achieve our dreams and those that we deem worthy. We document our journey and the lives of our children, and we brave uncharted territory every time we decide to forgive and love again and again and again. And our skin is the jumper that God gave us to show off the burns from being pushed too close to campfires, to display the wilted petal memories that we remix into our own potpourri. You see, I've seen enough History Channel to know that without a queen, kingdoms crumble. So I'd rather run naked in the wilderness, rocking a crown of thorns like my creator, than be crucified for not being majestic enough to climb, to wait for a man to give me his last name like it's the only badge I need. So when I die, lay an invisible quilt of badges over my coffin like a martyred matriarch in the war for my identity. So the angels will know that I died not wanting to be a Girl Scout, not wanting to be a queen, not wanting to be anything more than what you finally see. True to me.
There it is, there it is, there it is. Just as better recognize. No, see, we got it in. That first round was amazing. I hope you're in those comments right now, throwing up those fire emojis, throwing up those heart emojis, just throwing up all the love and support, because that's why we're here, man. Not only to put on a great show, but, you know, give everybody a platform, a reason to breathe, you know what I'm saying? And you know, just chill. but not. Energy still high. Saint, you heard the woman. She gave you, she ended that first round perfectly. So we're about to jump into this round 2. It's on you, brother. I see you. Let's go.
All right. So TREESJE was talking about being on Slam Team together. We always had good times on that team. So this piece is another piece that we tended to use a lot of time on that team. This is sexy time right here. Hold on. I studied the outline of her curves. Her skin glistens as she lies prostrate. So delicate, so refined, my mouth waters. I call her my maple brown sugar. Her scent is intoxicating. The attitude she has can get spicy at times, but nigga, I can handle the heat. I want to make her a part of everything I partake in. To I'm speaking of my dreams. Nah, I'm simply talking about one of the greatest joys of my existence. Bacon. Yes, the candy of meats, the perfect marriage of pork belly and sodium nitrates, derived from the German word Bacco. This is meat that simply makes people smile. Bringing an accompaniment to and skyrocketed to the top real food chain. It comes in many different cuts, and it's the streaky bacon, which is basically those thin, glorious strips of heaven. Bacon, the best thing that's ever happened to a cheeseburger. What takes an ordinary baked potato to something out of this world? Bacon. The Irish call it a rasher. Canadians call it Canadian bacon. I just simply call it a party in my mouth. It is a tasty blanket for scallops and asparagus. You crunch it and the tiny crabs and salads. Oh, want to join forces with it? It's the only sandwich so cool. It goes by just 3 little letters, BLT, bacon. It is constantly breaking barriers. The Baconator from Wendy's sold 25 million in its first 8 weeks. Why? Because it came with 6 strips of bacon. That's why. Who can resist that? I mean, seriously, would you eat residue from a cooked steak? How about drippings from a baked fish? Of course not. But bacon fat? Not only is it used to make a number of things from gravy to cornbread in the South, I swear, it's used to cure 39 different diseases. Ask my grandma, whether it's peppered or deep fried, baked on a pizza or wrapped on a hot dog, you call it pancetta or call me when it's frying in a pan. I love it. The only time you will see me turn up my nose in disgust. Wherever allow prejudice to rise up in my heart is when you mention the term turkey bacon, something I believe Satan created to keep people in darkness and away from the truth. Its origin is clear. Its message is founded as becoming our national meat, but more than that, it's already a national treasure. Bacon, it just makes everything better.
Listen,
I can't breathe.
Brad forgot all about that poem. That's great.
I cannot breathe.
Bacon does make everything better. I say put bacon on your relationships and prove that shit. Listen. TREESJE, you gotta get it together because this is on you. I know it's hilarious, but it's on you. Let's go.
Oh Lord. Oh man, one of my favorites. All right. So Saint might have an obsession with bacon, but we often, for some reason, I have an obsession with the zombie apocalypse. Like, I think that it's real. I think that someday it's gonna happen. And the reason why I married my husband is because I was like, I can survive the zombie apocalypse with this nigga. He's the one. So this poem is 10 reasons why being a mom has prepared me for the zombie apocalypse. 1, If food is scarce, I now know I could survive on nothing but goldfish crackers and that corner of juice-flavored air you get at the bottom of a demolished Capri Sun, too. Zombies would never sneak up on me. See, my ears have become sonar-powered satellites that can locate the exact room and type of writing utensil being scratched across the wall, Crayola, Expo, #2 pencil. They all sound different, but they require the same level of stealth to first catch them in the act and then snatch the secret weapon of mass destruction from tiny hands. You see, taking things from a toddler is an ancient form of kung fu passed down from my grandmama through my bloodline. You see, I will chop a zombie in the throat. 3, after you've been sliced open, had your organs rearranged just so human beings can be pulled out of your stomach to bring life, open wounds no longer scare you. After you survive, your skin being stapled back in place and held together with tiny pieces of tape, losing a limb or getting bit on the ankle feels like the equivalent of a paper cut. See, as a parent, pain becomes more of an inconvenience and less of a foreshadowing of Armageddon. Band-aids and ice packs can cure most ailments, and when all else fails, a mother's love can make any child raise from the ashes and believe they can take over the world. 4, the smell of death cannot compete with 3 a.m. diapers full of decomposing combinations of flesh, fruit snacks, and foreign objects. 5, breastfeeding, because children can literally suck the life out of you. 6, hide and seek, an archaic art of survival that turns any bathroom into a panic room when you just want a few minutes to escape from the carnage outside because peeing alone is everything. 7, because sounds of sheer terror and impending doom are kind of like my second language. 8, I've been one. Some days I wake up with no goal in mind, dragging my foot on the floor after stubbing my toe, mouth agape from rising from a graveyard of a bed, mumbling profanities or some other incoherent language that translates into an unquenchable thirst for coffee and an irrational anger that literally makes me want to bite my husband's head off. Because motherhood is a perpetual state of sleepwalking. The fantasy you never thought would come true, and yet the one thing that makes your house look like a nightmare on the regular 9, nothing scares me more than losing them. My sons are a daily reminder of how strong you can be when running away is not an option. When the world has given up on you and fighting back might make you the monster. My sons are being raised in an America that turns Black boys into zombies every day. They find asylum in a court system that serves popcorn instead of justice. 10, for the first time ever, I know what it feels like to know I would kill in a heartbeat without question if it meant that they would live or breathe for just another second. You see, every scab, scrape, and bruise has taught me that life is meant to be savored to a zombie. See, it doesn't matter our race, our flesh is all the same flavor. See, children breathe life into dead things with their imaginations. They resuscitate hopelessness and make being a parent a badass job that I would gladly show up for every day. You see, being a parent means coming back from the dead to scare away all the boogeymen and ghosts, because the only thing worse than living amongst the walking dead is living without the ones you care about most.
That's my friend.
Damn. So listen, this is what I love about this platform, is because we get so much perspective. We get so many different stories from left to right, high to low, intensity, funny. Oh, I love this. I hope y'all loving it too. I hope you're in those comments, giving me those fire emojis. Shout out to Jessica in the building. I saw you out there. Fly Girls up there. Oreo Sandwich. Shout out to Masterpiece also in the IG lives out there. So if you're in IG right now, I need you to invite hella people. Like, listen, they're about to get into round 3. TREESJE is about to be back up real quick. This is your chance. I'll give you like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bet. So you made those invites. Good. I see you did those invites. And right now, if you are in the comments right now, just throw up fire emojis. Let me see those fire emojis go up. Yes, there we go. All right, TREESJE, we're getting into round 3. All right. Yeah, it's going by fast, quick, fast. So it's on you, starting off round 3. What you got for it? Let's go.
Oh, snap. So look, the crazy part about it is that me and Sate been friends for like ever. And so he's actually been around since I was pregnant with my firstborn son. And when my husband and I were dating, he was like, "You driving down to San Diego with this nigga and you pregnant? What are you doing?" I was pregnant and on the slam team when we went to Oakland. He kept me awake. He kept me fed, everything. So it's just crazy to be full circle now, because he went from saint to Uncle Lim in the course of a few years. So this next poem is actually dedicated to my sons. It's based off of Proverbs 31. Folks that read their Bible realize that it's two parts. And a lot of folks always talk about the woman, but it's actually a mother's advice to her son. So this poem is entitled Son. Son, long after I am gone, I want to be the voice in your ear. The cool breeze that shifts your sway presidential, makes others study your regal and question your origins. I want to be the song in your heart, causing wallflowers to try to sample the melody that dances in your eyes, just so they can try to imitate the way you lubricate a room without popping bottles. Stand out without peacocking your way onto a stage, thrive in a world full of men drowning in stolen identities that can't preserve their own name. You will be a king among men. Not because you shine brighter than they, but because you make your mouth drawbridge and open door for those deemed outsider and pauper. Before I am gone, baby, I will weave my words around you like barbed wire in the form of warnings and wisdom, because I will not always be here to save you. You are young still, and your heart is a mighty river that does not know how to stop rushing into beds, a heart that knows not obstacle, only open valve and hemorrhage. So I pray that your muscles don't grow weary from placing fallen angels on cracked pedestals or adorning the halls of your home with crude drawings just because they come with shiny filters and gilded frames. Do not cling to status like it is what anchors you to your anointing in the kingdom, son. The day you receive your kingdom, I pray the queen you choose can help you carry its weight. I hope she is a ruby with roots that run deep, fingernails still black from mining herself diamond in the rough times. I pray her eyes are the oil rig that pulls you from the darkness, proof that her worth is deeper than surface. She is a phoenix that hums the resurrection at the sight of every sunrise, because every night her chest is the bomb shelter you find refuge when you don't feel safe exploding in public. Let her womb become the oven that turns your spark into legacy, temple of a woman with a smile as warm as open flame forged in fires of forgiveness and fortitude. She is the candle that sets your passions ablaze while burning her own wick at both ends. You see, she is a force to be reckoned. You call her honey, but she be the queen bee pollinating your household with gold, building a buzz for your business and hers. Her voice is candied with triumph and testimony because she understands that she too was once prisoner of war, begging to be loved without being held captive while you may be the captain. Recognize that she is the sail that keeps this ship moving forward. So never become wrecked by arrogance. She crosses your path, you humble yourself and speak, and you will know when her eyes of jade meet your amber and the earthquake in you cannot find fault in her, baby. I will be the voice in your ear, the cool breeze that blows through her hair and whispers forever when your queen says hello.
Yes. Yes. Oh, the comments are going crazy with fire and explosions and oh, listen, that was amazing. That was amazing. Y'all got me inspired. But we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Saint, you heard it.
Yeah, I heard it.
Heard it. Let's go, brother. On you. Round three.
So like TREESJE was saying, we've been friends for a long time. And actually, even before her son was born, when I first moved to LA, I live in LA now. When I first moved here, we knew each other through poetry. So I linked up with her as, you know, somebody I could just be friends with and, you know, kick it with and all that kind of good stuff. So we ended up going to the movies to see the Hunger Games specifically. And so I told you how long a time ago it was. But anyway, I was having some issues with my chest, having chest pains inside the movie theater. And I was kind of nudging her.
Leg, I thought you was trying to flirt.
She did. She did. It was like, no, I'm going to die. Like, I need help. And so she, you know, rescued me. She got the people to come and get me. And subsequently, I went to the hospital and ended up, as a result of that, being diagnosed with the condition. So that's where this poem comes from. The day I was diagnosed with Prinzmantel angina, I thought that God decided to punish me. Not sure for what. Maybe because of my disobedience. The fact that it only seems I pray in danger, but when he speaks to me, I pretend to only know sign language. Or it could be when I lived next door to my grandmother, I rarely visited her. And she died, having the closest person to her the furthest away from her reach. Daily, I place a little white pill in this big black body. It's to keep me regulated so I can function as normal. But normal has become breathing under pressure. Normal is feeling like I've walked a marathon, run a marathon, when all I've done is walk down the hall. The blood vessels that run to and from my heart constrict, causing vasospasms, which simply means I get really sharp chest pains each time I try and breathe. It's the same feeling you get when the person you love decides to walk out. Yesterday, I didn't want to get out of bed. I thought that if I lied still long enough, time would also do the same. Like an hourglass. See, when you lay it on its side, the sand stops moving. Time stands still. I am afraid of the moving sand. I'm scared that every time I feel pain, I lose a day on this earth. I go to my doctor for questions and answers, and she just tells me to take another pill. But the torture you in is nothing to worry about. Then when should I worry? My blood is already flowing in slow motion. The beat of my heart has become as inconsistent as the fathers that run in my family. I start to question God about my ailment, and he tells me, instead of asking, why has this happened to you? You should be asking, for what purpose have I instructed you for this particular life? I'm then reminded that everyone is not made this strong. That when my heart beats really loud, to be grateful for the music blaring in my chest. I am not deficient. I'm merely a superhero who has the ability to love those who don't always love him back. Each irregular palpitation is just Morse code sending messages back to heaven, that being afraid is just a reminder that I am human. And vulnerability has now become my best attribute. See, when God decided to put me together, I believe he made my heart a bit oversized. I'm still growing into it. I still believe in miracles. How else do you think I make it to the end of these poems? Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So today, I will get out of bed and be grateful the sand is still moving.
I'm not crying, you crying.
Who is cutting onions? Blues, you cutting onions?
No, you crying, you crying. My eyes just sweating, that's all.
My eyes got soggy, got all soggy.
Yo, so an amazing, amazing third round. I see y'all in these comments, like shout out to Judah Rose is up in here. Alex the Great is up in here. She said, those are some damn writers. For sure, there are some writers. Listen, shout out to my man Prentice Powell popped in here. I see Ed Mabry's up in there on the YouTube. Shout out to the YouTube folks.
What up?
Yo, YouTube got some hella emojis. I see bacon emojis up in here, all kinds of emojis up in this piece. It's great. Shout out to YouTube Nation. I see y'all keep coming with it. Listen, this thing is great. I'm glad y'all having a good time. Remember, too, also, if you're like, oh, man, this is great, how can I help support this? You can always donate to IntroVersus Live and, you know, help that money come in so we can help some things get popping and bubbling. As that being said, whatever. Listen, we're about ready to get into round 4. TREESJE. Woo, get your shoulders on. Get your shoulders on. I gotta brush up on all of my California geography too, because someone's in there talking about Pomona, and I'm like, I know the name, have zero idea where it is. So shouts out to
where Mike and Dim Lights is. Best kept JB, Mike and Dim Lights. That's Pomona.
You could tell me all of those things, where those people are from. But if you said point it out on a map, I'd be like, is it close to what kind of TREESJE? It's all you. Let's go.
All right. So look, we've seen IntroVersus. We love the platform, but me and Saint wanted to do something different. With us being homies, like friends. I don't know if anybody's seen Sorry to Bother You or been to iWhips where they have basically like the compliment challenge. So we created our own round, and we basically want to see who can write the dopest poem about each other. So this is my friend poem going down for my friend. Okay. This poem is entitled Things I Plan to Say When I'm Tipsy and Making a Toast at Your Wedding. Cheers to my guy. A live infomercial for Jesus. His name itself means devoted to God. No wonder he slangs poems and prayers like he's hustle man and this world is a giant barbershop. Which is ironic since he's been bald for like ever. But when Saint was born, his mother slid the angel a 20 and said, good looking out. See, he is always looking out. A treehouse of a man in the big city. He is one that covers. He is an unsuspecting refuge. He's a walking reminder not to take yourself too seriously. His superpower, loyalty. I've never seen a man hold his inner child so accountable for bringing joy to others. I've never seen a man hold joy like him. When we met at our first slam, I thought he was 25. Told myself, no grown-ass man loves Disneyland and dance breaks that much. I was wrong. He has the homie Mickey on speed dial. And when he dances, it's like watching P. Diddy walk on bubble wrap. He can't rap. But his spirit is a jukebox with a running playlist of songs for every random occasion. Hits like turkey bacon is the devil. I'm so sleepy. And my favorite, I don't know why I'm singing. See, every occasion with him is a chance to breathe, to see yourself human and safe. His laugh is a leap of faith. The way he cocks his head back mid-chuckle is a masterclass in black boy joy. Lim is not just my homeboy. He hugs like home, like good cooking and grandma's prayers. I'm a bolder Christian because of him. My Stockton bred brethren, this is the same man that will sip brown liquor at happy hour then offer to pray for you. His PK roots keep our conversations balanced and fruitful. He says, yo, like he's a hood Santa and his presence is a gift. And I've been unwrapping his loyalty going on 6 years. He has had my back like spinal taps. From baby showers turned engagement parties to prison poses at weddings, this bond is lifelong. Saint never met a piece of bacon he didn't like. And I've watched him chase his dreams with the same hunger. His grind is unmatched, fueled by coffee and creativity because his dreams make him lose sleep. No wonder I nicknamed him Tired Black Man. Saint builds altars with his pen, then insults your breath with metaphors, believes that poems should not be heavy, but help you carry the weight. Why for art thou friendship so dope? He makes me elevate my game. And I'll never forget the time we carpooled to Elevated and he practically held up a convenience store for napkins when I got a bloody nose. See, that's how he rolls. Named after a king, his righteousness, his regal saint opens his heart like he never plans to close it. So when a valve in his heart decided to set trip, I was ready to put the pause on the devil. for him because I knew then that he had a world to change. He was destined to leave a legacy of fire, showing this world that a Black man can still believe in himself. I knew he had more poems to write, more scriptures to search, a soldier trained in tactical and spiritual warfare, so he knew how to fight. So cheers to my guy, my brethren. I'm grateful for every day your heartbeat keeps this party going.
Wow. Wow.
Oh.
Love this. Yo, say, yo,
I'm
your shit is not
trying.
if your shit is not as nice as hers, if your shit is not as complimentary as hers, son. All right, say this on you. Let's go.
Oh man. I told her I was gonna beat her, but I don't know now because she went first and now I'm all toe up. Okay. This is called a poem for TJ. My friend is a woman with integrity, who loves God more than circumstances, who is a wife to a Black man raising Black boys in a world that sees melanin before mentality. She is degreed up. Call her doctor, call her psychologist, call her if you want to hear laughter that comes from the belly. She party to the party. She moves at her aceness. She tectonic plates with these poems, transforming scriptures into spoken word. Proverbs 31 runs through her bloodstream like white blood cells. She writes in flood swells, causing FEMA to pay attention. She is the prototype, a Black woman who has overcome but is still not satisfied, who is down to earth but not of this world, who walks around with her fist in the air and ear to the ground, knowing that justice and Jesus go hand in hand. Being a boss and a servant at the same time. Being a mother in all its glory, turning young men into kings, polishing their crowns, showing them what royalty looks like, giving them purpose, understanding, transforming her maternal instincts into something eternal. The day I went to the hospital for my broken heart, she was there, asking God to make sure I kept ticking like a grandfather clock, knowing my time wasn't up, knowing I still had work to do, still had people to reach, that gospel was still lodged in my chest. My heart was just struggling to get it out. She is my friend, my sister, someone who holds space for her loved ones like galaxy, a woman among girls, a leader among followers who grips light in the palm of her hand like a Rubik's Cube, always adjusting it so it shines in the right direction. Her last name says it all. Powers, a superhero who is ready to save the oppressed, dressed in garments that stay super fly. She flies super high, always trying to reach heaven while still here on earth. I just want to give her her flowers while she can still plant them. Because we all know a great woman knows how to multiply her gifts. Humble beast she is. I'm just blessed to have her in my life.
Listen. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down, back again. Hey, your heart is true. You're a pal in the country. Right, stop.
Hey. Hey, hey.
Yo, this is a great fourth round. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun. I hope you're having as much fun as we are. Make sure you're putting those fire emojis up there. Right now, just in the comments, say thank you for being a friend. I just want you to type in thank you for being a friend and put a bunch of heart emojis in there for us. Let us see it real quick because this is great. This is This is what this platform is all about. This is just uplifting and celebrating and giving some dope ass poetry. So we're headed into the 5th and final round. Yes, folks, it goes that fast. And we're going back to the original setup. So, Saint Man, last round on you, brother. Let's go.
All right. First, before I want to do this, shout out to IntroVersus, shout out to All Deaf Poetry, shout out to Blues hosting. Blues, you're amazing. Love your work. Super giant in the game. Everybody else that's on staff. I just appreciate the platform. Appreciate y'all allowing us to share our gifts. That being said, I'm against the grain. I'm novelty in familiar places. I'm high society wrapped in urban clothes. I'm mahogany skin rising from the ashes. I'm the Emancipation Proclamation written in invisible ink. I'm the American dream woken up. My heartbeat alone is cause for panic. I'm thought to be feared, but taught to be inferior. My breathing is always labored because the weight of the world sits on my chest. When they ask me who I am, I say, I'm apartheid in South Africa. I'm segregation in Alabama. I'm riots in Los Angeles. I'm a whistle to the wrong person, but I've always been music. I'm the birth of rock and roll, the indoctrination of jazz. I'm hymns sung in the key of struggle. I'm the alpha and the omega. I am who they are trying to be. I'm whitewashed. I'm auditioning for my right to be here. I'm lit. I'm fired up. I'm tambourine and shout music. I'm Frederick Douglass birthing Gabby Douglas. I'm barbecues by the lake in Oakland. I'm good kid, mad city coming straight out of Compton, feeling illmatic. I'm marches. I'm boycotts. I'm the backseat of the bus. I'm inequality masquerading as affirmative action. A police officer's gun's wet dream. I'm language too sharp for your lips. I'm why Kaepernick is on his knees. I am, how dare you own your own skin? My family tree is petrified, scared of being the fruit that keeps getting picked off before it's had a chance to ripen. I'm Florida's excuse to stand their ground. I'm Arizona's excuse to see my papers. I'm America's excuse to dial 911 in the past. I was treated as an animal today. I'm still a scapegoat, a means to an end, the path of most resistance. My hands are still callous in building the foundation of this country. My roots run deeper than the ocean that carried my forefathers. I'm honesty wrapped in tolerance, the gleam in my mother's eye. I am love. I am compassion. I am enough, but regardless, I am still, put your hands where I can see. Where are you going? Know your place. I'm a foreigner on my own soil. I'm a terrorist in my own country. I'm a bomb with a ticking clock. I'm Oscar Grant. Don't forget my name. I'm Eric Garner. Don't forget my name. I'm Sandra Bland, Stephon Clark, Trayvon Martin, etc., etc., etc. Do not forget my name. I'm the burden of proof. I am proof of the burden. I am all these things, and I am still. I'm still here.
Whew, that's how you close out your round. My God, Saint. My God. Yo, that was amazing. Listen, do you remember, I believe we're still going to have this happen. After this, we do the post interview with the homegirl, Jessica. So make sure you stick around for that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get into this last poem by TREESJE. Yeah, about to do that. I think we're going to flip it right after that so we can get more bandwidth time. I'll check in with Kadeem on the Instagram live time. But so I'm going to stop talking. TREESJE, 5th round. You heard Saint. Let's go.
All right. So we just going all black on all black everything this round. We are always on display, but never seen. I am no Dr. King, and I still don't know what it means to think freely in a country built on bondage. Still learning how to be Black, woman, and alive at the same time. The greatest thing to happen to this country, yet somehow only seen when excellent, yet deemed part of the problem. I seem to be a walking oxymoron. My joy is an anomaly. Like friendly fire or jumbo shrimp, we are the largest minority, yet we are told to forget history. Abandon our civil rights. When we see police lights, we are told to act naturally, remain calm, Last time I checked, pretending to be something you are not is not natural at all. How do you tell this Black girl that her magic is what makes her invisible? Women traded like commodity, no search party, missing without warning. Tell me, is it fair to ask for equality when we know what makes us target is what makes us valuable? I don't just want prepackaged philanthropy. I want everyone to get what they truly need, but it seems equity is a novel concept in our society. A handful of blood and crops can feed generations hungry for opportunity, but I've seen miracles and come from bloodlines of hymns singing legacy, feeding families with one prayer and a pot full of creativity. See, we take 13 deceptive cons transformed into amendments. We flipped into opportunities. We are bumblebees without a sting. This honey comes at a price. America is the baby bear that was only ever taught to swat at nests, a country that casts its nets on people and land in the name of diplomacy. Please, there is deliverance in forgiveness. We are holding our breath, America. Tell us when it's safe to breathe. Someday they will thank us with an apology braided in our native tongue. Until that day, how do we overcome 400 years worth of dream deferred on our lips, fingertips raw from crafting origami cranes out of pages of declarations written with 3/5 of our voice? America has always seen fit to take the parts of us she can fit neatly into her pockets. I am still learning how to be seen as human and not object, our stories silenced while the world dances to our music. Jazz and hip hop all sounds like the blues to a woman of color. How do you craft a life preserver from the wreckage of a slave ship? How do you swim faster than a system designed to drown you in fear? You become a walking oxymoron, a fortune cookie who won't break in the midst of misfortune. The biggest threat and greatest asset once I lift my blindfold and choose to hope again, open up Jim Crow's bird box and dare the beast to rewrite my legacy. We are a candle flame that won't be extinguished by the winds of adversity. We engineer a baseline from a march on Washington. We find a freedom song in the deafening silence. We craft a hope that still flickers in the laughter of our children. We are Beachella in the morning and Insecure in the evenings. Melanin popping, glass ceiling shattering, bosses pushing past red tape into America's stock market, the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in today's society. We are worthy of notice. So why aren't we seeing it? If you are paying attention, we will burn this shit to the ground, an electric slide to the flames. America, get ready, because we are taking our prize home with sweat on our brow.
That's my friend. That's my friend.
For all those fire ass rounds, for that fire ass round of poems. Listen, I hope y'all had a great time like I've had a great time. My God, Jay, Saint, y'all, whoa. Thank y'all so much for saying yes to this platform, but also for bringing the fire and then the heart and then the funny and the passion. Like, you brought it all tonight, and I hope everybody understands they got a really dope show for pretty much no money. So if you feel like donating, go ahead and hit those donations. We love that. I think our girl Jessica should be up in the building real soon, so we're gonna grab her and jump on with her.
Let's see.
Kadeem, talk to me. How much time we got on IG? All right, so I'm gonna wait for her to pop in, and if she pops in, we'll get it popping. If not, we'll switch it out. But anyway, shouts out to everybody out there in the IG world, in the YouTube world. I hope y'all enjoyed this show like I did. Throw those hearts. Oh man, hearts and fire emojis are all over the place. Real quick, TREESJE, where can we find you at?
All right, well, I got my Instagram, TREESJE Empowers. And so that's where I'm posting some videos and content there. Got a YouTube, pretty much everything social is TREESJE, TREESJE, Powers, like superpower. So Google it and it'll all come up. And, you know, me and Saint are working on some things which we will share when Jessica comes on screen. But yeah, lots coming this year.
That. All right, Saint, talk to us. Where can we find you?
Yeah, so you can find me at Uncle Lim on IG, Twitter, Uncle_Lim, Facebook, everywhere. And yeah, man, got some things working out. So working on a new podcast in which I will be talking to fathers of color. Really excited about this. So the whole podcast is centered around fathers of color. So that'll be coming to you soon. Matter of fact, Blues, I'm gonna be hitting you up, my brother. So yeah, have to. And yeah, man, we just got some things popping. Like TREESJE said, we're gonna discuss it with Yessie, but you know, we're planning some stuff that we're gonna be doing together. So that's why this was extra special for us to be able to do this with each other. So yeah, man, that's what's up.
Perfecto. Listen, we love it. We love everything that we've heard tonight. So we will be on the lookout for all of the moves, all of the connections, all of the collaborations. Yes, because we need that in 2020. We need that in 2021. We need all the efforts of our creators. We need all the brain power and muscle and activism and just fire that y'all bring to inspire the people. So thank you so much for doing what you do. And listen, if you all are interested, like we are interested, and you're like, I wonder what's next, let us know. Like if you see somebody out there who has, you know, the same caliber of dopeness as TREESJE and Saint, you know what I'm saying, then that's hard to match. But if you know someone who's on that level, let us know. Let us set something up for that situation so we can bring it right here to IntroVersus, brought to you by All Deaf Poetry and IntroVerse Live. Shout out to the whole team and the whole squad. So yeah, hit us up in our DMs. Let us know who you like. And remember, we are open mic Wednesdays with the homie Sean William at a new time. Sean, I believe that's what, 7:30 or 9:30 Eastern? I think it's 9:30 Eastern. Either way, follow IntroVerse Live and then you'll see the time. Jump on there. That's where we see you. Like, oh, bet. We like that person. We're going to try to get them on. And then, of course, on Fridays, we got Masterpiece, and she comes through with, it's a little sexy open mic time, and sometimes it's just real talk. So either way, tune in with her on Fridays on our IntroVerse Live page as well. And, of course, every Tuesday, we bring you IntroVersus. And I'm waiting to see if Jessica shows, but I don't see her real quick. So if y'all are out there in the IG world, let her know, like, hey, we're looking for her because she has all the great questions and all the great answers. All the great questions to get all the great answers. Listen.
All the great answers.
Yeah. Real quick though, I guess I'll ask me a quick question. How are y'all doing in this COVID season? Like, how has your pivot been? That's my favorite question, my creators. Like, how has your pivot been?
I would say one of the big pivots we made is hosting Lion Live online. So out here in Pomona, for those that don't know where Pomona is, right? IE, but we had an in-person venue, and so we shifted to IG Live and trying to put out more. I actually feel like I've created more during this time, written more during this time because I got more time to spend still. So that's been a big pivot for me, some introspection and some collaborations with my people.
Same.
Yeah, man, I'm just now getting back into artistic mode. I was kind of in survival mode, you know, when the pandemic first started, and it was just really hard to just have inspiration to create and doing anything that involved that. So, but you know, that's past, and so I'm glad over that hump, and so I'm getting back into creative mode and using that, of course, as a source of expression, as all artists do. And so, yeah. But yeah, man, COVID sucks. COVID is a
super sucks. So, y'all kind of alluded to it. Can y'all talk about this collaborative effort y'all about to get down with? Like, can we get a?
Yeah.
Talk about this.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, he said no one. She's went on a link. By the way, I just texted her. But yeah, so basically,
someone from the IntroVerse squad,
as we mentioned several times. We're good friends, and we felt like our work each other, And so we always thought it would be dope if we could collab and actually do a tour together. And so it was actually something that we had started working on last year, that it was going to be for the summer of this year. And of course, again, COVID is a bastard. And so that, you know, we couldn't do that. So we've just been now using the time to write together and kind of get things going. So hopefully by next year, it's something that we can put together. But yeah, TREESJE can give her point of view on that, but that's kind of the gist of where that came from.
And I think we've seen
She's good people, you know what I'm saying?
That's my boy, and us being on a slam team, we realized that our writing styles really complemented each other. One of our favorite poems that never saw the light of day, you know how that is, Blues, was a poem all about happiness, because we felt like slam was really sad, and we was like, we don't care if you got Patrick just had a puppy, show us some tears. Like, and it's this idea that like we just like pimp our pain, but it is a release for us. So we wanted to be able to just do like a joy tour, right? Just like fun poems, poems about God, poems about our belief, poems about friendship, right? To just bring some light and some positivity and some optimism to the world. And so it started out as kind of like a church circuit tour, and it's really evolving into something really dope. So I'm excited to see what we come up with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Word. All right. I was on call, so that just mutes me. That's just like double mute for me.
Oh.
All right. So, word. And you're right. Like, slam nowadays, and this is no slight or shade to this generation of poets, but yeah, that trauma porn be real, and they be, you know, and they use it to win. And I'm all about competition. You know, you use the tools that you got. I just don't like it when you use the tools that you got and then you're like, I'm so hurt. Like, motherfucker, you can't rip yourself open. It's gonna be okay. It's not. So it's really refreshing to hear happy poetry. Like, and I think this season that we live in, where Black people, Black creatives specifically, when something happens to us, we have to write about the thing that happened to us. Even though over here, we had this we had this bacon poem, this poem about unicorns, this poem about transformers. We can't do that shit now because we got to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? And not that we're saying that this isn't important, but we are this too. These are the things that we love to do. So it's so good to hear that that's what you guys are going to focus on, because I think Black folks need that kind of joy. I always say Black folks are the only people that will walk into a comedy show with a chip on their shoulder, like, you gotta make me laugh. Like, why did you come here? What's going on? Show up with some joy. Right. So with that, what's bringing you joy these days?
Oh, I think for me now, just being close to my family, like what I have been able to do, my family lives in Northern California, I'm in LA. So because of the pandemic and being able to work from home legitimately, I can go and work from and spend a week at my family's house and commune with them while I'm still working. So that has been super joyful because I've gotten close to my niece and nephew is really, you know, I got another niece on the way. So I'm excited about that. So basically being able to like really, really be around my family has been tremendous around this time, for sure. Absolutely. Also, I wanted to make a point, real quick, that you were saying, Blues, like when you talk about people of color, we're not monolithic. So we have so many different facets of us. So it's important that when we talk about the work that we bring to the table, that it emulates that, you know, because we have so many aspects of us. And so I just wanted to put that and just agree with you on that as well. So sorry, TREESJE.
No, you're good. I completely agree. I think that one of the beautiful things about this time is that I've been able to write about all parts of me. Like, I'm not just a woman, I'm a Black woman. I'm not just a Black woman, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I believe in God, I'm a psychologist. Like, I have all these different pieces of who I am. And so folks that are in the poetry community don't know that I'm a psychologist. Folks that are at my job don't know that I do poetry. And it's like, how can we not exist as our whole and complete selves as artists and show up that way consistently? And so for me, my greatest joy now is just kind of letting my boys be themselves, like run wild, dress up, wake up in Spider-Man pajamas and not get dressed, make muffins for no reason because it's a Tuesday. Like it's just been allowing my days to not be bombarded with the news. Like my greatest source of joy right now is my husband and I just been gardening. We've been planting stuff. And I think it's like in a world where death is like all around us, we found solitude in making things grow and planting and gardening. And so that was a big piece for us during this time.
That is so dope. Like Black gardening is really up in this COVID season. I know a few Black gardeners like
Black
growing shit. That's all I'm like, you know, because we farm. We know we come from folks who farm. Like farming is a thing. But Black gardening, y'all get fancy with that shit. Listen, I got some snap peas and from tomatoes and roses. And how you got all that shit in one place? Like Black gardening. Listen, thank y'all so much for being a part of what we do. Shouts out to Jessica. This was supposed to be her segment. This was my fault. I'm gonna eat this one. I forgot to give her the link, so that was my fault, Jessica. I'm so sorry. We'll have you squared away next time. So everybody out there, do remember that these interview segments, they are hers, and she'll be getting into them moving forward. So that was just my fault. I messed up on that one. So with that being said, listen, TREESJE, Saint, thank y'all so much for being a part of for IntroVersus this fine Tuesday. Y'all could have been watching the debates, watching Kamala put her foot up Pence's ass. So anyway, shouts out to y'all. Make sure y'all folks out there are registered to vote. Literally, our lives are on the line. And this is no metaphor or hyperbole. When your president, anyway, y'all know what's at stake. Vote, and vote. Just vote. Period.
Still my president blues. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's all I'm recognizing, really, for real. Make sure that you keep up with these two beautiful human beings as they move forward and give you so much more to your life and adding joy to it. Make sure you keep up with them. Support them in each and every way possible. Support us if you will. That would be kind. We will see you on Wednesday with Sean William. We will see you on Friday with Masterpiece, and we'll see you right back here next Tuesday for IntroVersus. Shout out to All Deaf Poetry. Shout out to the IntroVerse Live team. I am Sean William, Masterpiece, Prentice Pal, Black Chakra, my man Kadeem behind the scene. Y'all, we'll see y'all next week. I'm Blues. We gone.